Hello everybody, welcome back to another video where I talk over Stardew Valley about something that is on my mind in regards to neurodiversity, ADHD, ADHD, autism, and the like. And this week I wanted to talk about ways that we could be helped in keeping our homes tidy and our spaces if you don't have like a whole home but just a room, because that can be a challenge. And I think there's a few ways that we could try to be better at that or make things easier. Now, something that I've noticed in particular with people like with ADHD is that they like a challenge. So one of the ways that you could do that, just to get things started right away, is to gamify the whole experience. You could set timers, give yourself rewards, things like that. That's like one of the simple ways to gamify it. But I came across a much more fun way to do it, which I still have to implement for myself, but it's something that's in the back of my mind that I want to start doing. And that is to look at the space that you're in, that you're trying to keep tidy, as almost like a world in itself. And you are like the keeper of this world, and these different areas in your area, your room or your house, are their own little nations. And you tidying up in those locations actually helps out the people that live there. You can earn points like that as well. Maybe give yourself like a stat sheet or something, like make it more of a roleplay thing, like an open world RPG type game. And you could imagine that each area has its own ruler, and in order to, I guess, gain the points, you have to impress this ruler by doing something for their nation. And if you're creative, you could make a whole sheet for that. You could put in a fridge or somewhere. I think it should be somewhere physical, not like online somewhere, because that's too easy to then also go look something else up while you're online and updating the sheet, so to speak. That's something that's always kind of bothered me about things like Notion and stuff like that. I would keep Notion open, but then I'd also have a tab for this and a tab for that, and I'd have some YouTube videos going in the background, and before long I'd forgotten about Notion, etc. So I think a physical sheet on a very visible location would be a better idea, like with the different nations on it, your scores, or maybe just a score sheet of yourself, like how much you've done this week, or maybe you want to set a challenge on that sheet, or a whiteboard might be better in that case, that you could set a challenge for yourself, like, oh, this week I want to help out the paper nation, which would be like your bookcase or something, by sorting things out on the first or second shelves or something along those lines, and that can give you 5 points per shelf and things like that. Then of course you have to figure out what you want to have as a reward when you get to a certain level, if you want to just level up to the next thing, and what does leveling up mean for you. That's also something that I think would be very much fun for us to like spend some time on, just thinking about that whole world and what it means to level up in this world. What does it get you? What will you be doing better? Things like that. So I would suggest doing something like a whiteboard where you just kind of scribble the nation names and maybe the leader names. You want to go for leaders. Maybe use a name generator so you don't have to spend a lot of time thinking about the perfect name either. Just kind of let it go. Let the name generator come up with something. The names will grow on you eventually anyway, so don't really worry too much about that. But something that's very quick to set up and quick to update as well. Like I have some magnets that are in the shape of stars. I could maybe use those for my point system, like whenever I've done something that's like significant enough for a star, I put a star in that location. Then when I hit 5 stars, I can change it over to a different symbol maybe to suggest that I've leveled up in that area. And then set yourself a goal, like something that is maybe something expensive that you have been putting off, which you'll then of course have to save up for as well, because I don't want you to go into like credit card debt, but still that's a different matter. But that you're only allowed to buy once you've leveled up sufficiently by helping your different nations, so to speak. Or something else you could do is buddy doubling. A lot of people do that as well. They put on a video or a live stream, and then it's like there's not a person there. But there are also videos on YouTube of people cleaning up, just cleaning up in the background. You could put them on as well, and then pretend that you're both cleaning the same house at the same time. And having some other person there gives that little bit of accountability that you may need in order to get things started, in order to keep things going, etc., etc. Something else that I find works really well is when I'm actually not at my own house. When I'm at other places, other people's houses, the office, other locations, I'm very quick to clean things up, put things back in the right place, do the dishes and all that sort of thing. Like, I don't let it sit. So I was wondering if it would work to pretend that the space that you want to clean is actually somebody else's place. Like maybe because it's somebody else's, you'll have more of a sense of urgency to get things done. And it might also make it feel like somebody's there looking at all the mess and going, why isn't my house clean yet? That might seem a little mean or daunting, but it might be that little push that you need. Not somebody who's mean about it, but more like somebody who's more of a loving grandparent type who just needs a little bit of help, and you're there for that. And they know that you don't have a lot of energy or that you tend to get distracted, so they're not upset when you don't do something, but you just want to help them out, like that type of thing. If it helps, you could maybe put up some pictures of somebody like that around the place to remind you, like, oh yeah, actually, maybe I'll do something nice for them today. Like maybe I'll do this now, or maybe I'll do that extra little laundry, or maybe I'll actually fold it this time and put it away properly, instead of just putting it on that one chair to be picked apart later. Another option is to give a bit of a deadline. Like some people, they really want to get their house clean before they go somewhere. If they're going to go on holiday, then the house needs to be completely clean, because by the time they come back, they don't want to get like upset coming back into a messy house, because that also drains. Like if you've traveled for a significant amount of time, by the time you come to your destination, you just want to like relax and you don't want to have to deal with a bunch of mess. So it's kind of like making sure that your future self comes back to a clean house. So imagine that you're preparing for some type of big event, a big trip or something along those lines, and things need to happen before that certain date. So pick a date on your calendar and go, okay, I need to have things done before that date. Could be that you set a date for like 2 months from now, and the first 6 weeks nothing happens, because that's also how we work. We like deadlines. But then when that date comes closer, you might start like getting reminders on your phone, and then in the last maybe 48 hours before that date, you're going to do a lot of stuff. Now, it might be that you're not going to be able to do everything, but that push with that date coming closer might get you to do more than you would have otherwise, which is also a great way to get things tidy or tidier. And if you really want to make it exciting for yourself, then actually invite somebody to come over on a certain day, because then it'll definitely be clean. Particularly if you also imagine that they are going to be visiting every room of your house and not just the living room. Because I know that when somebody comes over and you have an extra room, all the stuff that you don't want them to see will probably end up in that room instead of being put away properly. So if you really want something to get that last minute deadline urge going, make a coffee date. But that's just a few ideas to get things tidier in hopefully a fun manner. Let me know how you do that around the house. Do you have a certain trick for yourself? Let us know. I want to thank you for listening. I hope to see you in the next video, and bye bye for now.